Ah, it should have fixed it. Better have. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Camera issues. That. What the fuck? Good shit. Yeah. Yeah. It's lit. Coffee's hot, bitch. Nobody wants to assume. Because they already fucking know. You already fucking know. Good evening. Solid Souls. Twitch.tv/Solid Souls. Welcome. What's going on? It has been not a very eventful last stream. So hopefully we have a little bit of something to talk about today. Something a little bit spicy to put on the grill, bitch. You know what I mean? Gotta close teams. I don't know what the hell the America Party is. First I've heard of it. Well, it's very simple. It's for people who are for America. But there is an American Party. I don't know if that's what we're talking about. I don't know if that's what's being referenced in like the stories and videos that I'm looking at here. But all right. Elgato issues. Hmm. What's going on with this? Headset disconnected? Why is it reading that as a headset? I might have some issues. What is that fucking HDCP code or whatever the hell it is? That's all off. It should be working. I don't know what's going on. Okay, there. But the audio is not, eh? jack information available. What the fuck are you talking about? Huh. What the fuck, dude? Oh, there it is. That's all the way up, though. Hmm. What is the deal with airline food? Whatever, I guess we'll just go that route. Monitor only. That will be the route we take. The way I'll have to handle that, yes. Go here. Yes. Yeah, that's what controls that. That's got to be all the way up. Turn this down. I just get the sense that that's going to be insanely loud, but oh, that might help. Okay. I have no idea why those aren't working either. So very, very strange. I'm gonna open Discord in case anybody wants to join me. I don't know if anybody's on. I haven't been on all day. I literally just got here. The boys are playing 2K. Wimp. Hello? Hello? Oh, that's why. There we go. All right. That's not the right device. That is. That is. Okay. Okay. That's better. Let's look at Xbox. Oof. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going for that. I think I'm gonna play Dead by Daylight. So let's start. Fuck it. I don't really know what I might get into it later. But I need to numb my brain right now. I mean, like, if I look at this right now, my fucking head's gonna explode probably. I mean, look at this. Where is it? There it is. Why did it take down that browser window? Brother! Okay, there it is. Suppose I gotta leave that up over here in order for it to work.
Welcome back. President Trump is spending the weekend at his New Jersey golf club, the day after signing his massive tax and spending bill into law. And his former right-hand man, Elon Musk, is launching the new political party. NBC's Imiche Alcindor is traveling with the president and has more.
Tonight, on the heels of President Trump signing his massive domestic policy bill into law, his former close ally, Elon Musk, announcing the
What is that goofy ass music that he has playing?
former close ally, his massive domestic policy bill in
What the hell is that? Go back.
Imiche Alcindor is has more.
Why does that sound like a cartoon?
On the heels of President Trump signing his massive domestic policy bill into law, his former close ally, Elon Musk, announcing the formation of a new political party. Musk, the world's richest person, taking to his social media site X to say, "We live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom." Musk, who was President Trump's top campaign donor, has been feuding. The America Party is formed to give you back.
We need to move back into like a world where, I mean, you can give your opinion, but why should you be taken seriously when all you offer is one concept without any like provable like basis for it? This tweet seems super like crybaby stuff, but over what, you know?
Back your freedom. Musk, who was President Trump's top campaign donor, has been feuding with the president over the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, which the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says will add more than $3 trillion to the national debt over the next 10 years. Musk has referred to the legislation as a debt slavery bill and had been teasing a new political party for days. The Tesla CEO did not respond to questions from NBC News seeking clarity about today's announcement.
The stock market's at an all-time high.
For his part, President Trump has been celebrating the bill. The legislation extends the tax cuts from his first term, reduces taxes on tips and overtime pay, and provides funds for his immigration priorities. It also makes some of the biggest cuts in history to social safety net programs like Medicaid and food assistance.
That's not good. Also in this bill, I don't see it yet, but there's like massive cutbacks to regulations that have to do with like AI, labor, and I'm pretty sure robotics too. So, what are the implications of cutting all these social safety nets and regulations regarding robotics and AI? Well, it means when you get left out on your ass with no job, there's really nothing to catch you while you figure out where you're supposed to go.
In Missouri, Kimberly Gallagher is worried about how the bill's new work requirements could affect her and her son's access to Medicaid. Her son Daniel has a rare genetic disorder and autism, and she is his primary caregiver.
Medicaid is in every facet of our life. It's not just medical, it's financial, it's care. And to lose any of those parts would drastically change our lives.
Fuck up your life. Yeah. It's not okay, man. It's not okay. Like, and it's insane to me, like, the party of protection is letting this fucking shit just like it's a win or something. So I saw that there were some reactions, not just Musk's reaction to the bill or whatever, but other very staunch Republican voices and shit, which I don't really give a fuck that much about Republicans. I just
Well,
I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but Chris Cron, 1.11 million
Trump's new big
subscribers.
beautiful bill, it's here. and it could be one of the most important financial opportunities that we've seen in years. And we're definitely going to know by July 4th because that's the deadline. Listen up. If you're an investor, an entrepreneur, a W-2er, you need to know what's in this bill. And it might be Trump's biggest legislation in his entire term.
Achieve financial
This bill
freedom.
is complicated. It includes a lot. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to reduce it down to the 5 most important
He's going to reduce
parts of the bill that you need to know. Let's go.
Reduce it.
I'm Chris Crone, and I have helped thousands of people use real estate as a wealth building tool for financial freedom. And honestly, I don't really care if you vote red or blue. What I care about is helping you grow your green. I've never tried to get super political in my videos, but here's the truth. Policy impacts economy, your personal economy.
Is this all an
and
ad?
that economic policy impacts your investments. That means that I've got an obligation to keep you in the know of what's going on. And Trump's new bill, listen, it's packed with tax breaks, investment incentives, and tools that could either fast track your wealth or could honestly leave you behind. If you don't understand them, we're gonna get you caught up right now because today I'm gonna break down the 5 most important updates to this brand new bill and what they mean for beginner investors and experts. And hey, before we get rolling, please hit that like and that subscribe button. It helps me out. It tells the
Beginner investors and experts.
algorithm that this information is gonna be useful for other people as well. Thank you. Major point number 1, permanent tax cuts. Let's start with the basics. This bill seeks to make permanent some important updates to this brand new bill and what they mean for beginner investors and experts. And hey, before we get rolling, please hit that like and that subscribe button. It helps me out. It tells the algorithm that this information is gonna be useful for other people as well.
Is that something you can do now? Whoa! Whoa! What?
To this brand new bill and what they mean for beginner investors and experts. And hey, before we get rolling, please hit that like and that subscribe button. It helps me out. It tells the algorithm that this information is going to be useful for other
fucking
people as well.
highlights it
Major
pink.
point number 1, permanent tax cuts. Let's start with the basics. This bill seeks to make permanent some of the major tax cuts. It does this by extending the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which means that a bunch of temporary tax breaks are now becoming permanent. First, the standard deduction stays extended. This is the amount of money that you can earn each year that's completely tax-free. Before 2017, a married couple could only deduct $13,000, but after the expansion, it jumped to $27,000, and now it's here to stay for good. That means that if you're just starting out and you're earning under that amount of money, that you don't owe any federal income tax on that at all. And for everyone else, it's going to lower the amount of taxes that you pay. Across the board, tax rate reductions are staying locked in.
So
the
that's like
percentage
is that like a marriage? Or is it
$27,017. A married couple deduction
married
stays
couple, yeah.
$27,000, and now it's here to stay for good. That means that if you're just starting out and you're earning under that amount of money, that you don't owe any federal income tax on that at all. And for everyone else, it's going to lower the amount of taxes that you pay. Across the board, tax rate reductions are staying locked in. So the percentage that you pay at each income level is lower than it used to be. This benefits both individuals and small business owners, especially people earning 6 figures or growing side income through the game of real estate like I teach all day long. It means more of your money stays with you instead of going to Uncle Sam. And then we have to talk about the estate tax exemption, which is now doubled potentially permanently if this passes. Now, what's an estate tax? It's the tax that your heirs could owe when you pass away and you leave them your assets. This bill locks in the exemption at nearly $15 million per individual, now $30 million per married couple. So if you're building a real estate empire with me or on your own, your kids can inherit it without getting crushed by taxes or needing to sell off properties to pay those taxes. This is a huge win for generational wealth. And finally, the child tax credit gets increased from $2,000 to $2,200. This means that parents get a larger credit, aka a direct reduction on their tax bill for each dependent child. If you've got kids and you're investing to build a better future for them, this puts money back into your hands and it helps you make that happen. Bottom line to all of this, these changes give you more control over your income today and they make it easier for you to pass on your wealth tomorrow. So whether you're a house hacker like me buying a reverse house once upon a time, or you're buying a
All right, I'm not interested in this weird shit. I don't need a sales pitch combined with the information. That's just fucking annoying. Oh my god, it's all money, people.
The US Senate is in full action. Republicans voted in a dramatic late Saturday session and narrowly cleared a key procedural step as
I'm sorry, no. Nope.
This is the big, beautiful bill. It's over 900 pages long, and it's about to change everything from your taxes to your student loans to Medicaid. Most people will never read it, so I did. And in this video, I'm breaking down the wildest, weirdest, and most important parts, so you actually know what's coming. Some of it might help you. Some of it might hit you where it hurts. Let's find out what's really inside. This section of the bill focuses on changes to federal nutrition programs, especially SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It's under Title I, Subtitle A, and it covers everything from how food benefits are calculated to new work requirements and who qualifies. If you or someone in your family uses food assistance, this part is especially important. These changes affect how benefits are measured, who gets them, and how states are expected to manage the program moving forward. So the government's official food benchmark, called the Thrifty Food Plan, is basically how they calculate how much support a family gets through SNAP. Under this bill, they're freezing the structure of that plan. No more frequent updates based on modern nutrition science or changing eating habits unless certain conditions are met. The only thing that's going to change each year is the cost, adjusted Thrifty Food Plan is basically how they calculate how much support a family gets through SNAP. Under this bill, they're freezing the structure of that plan. No more frequent updates based on modern nutrition science or changing eating habits unless certain conditions are met. The
Okay, that seems wrong.
only thing that's going to change each year is the cost, adjusted for inflation using the Consumer Price Index. What that means in practice is if healthy foods get more expensive or people's dietary needs shift, the benefit levels won't keep up. The plan stays locked unless the USDA decides to do a full re-evaluation.
That's fucking dumb.
And they can't even consider that before 2027. And even then, they're not allowed to increase the overall cost of the plan. It has to stay budget neutral. So even if food prices rise, the value can't increase beyond what's already been allocated. Also, no matter how big your family is, SNAP benefits cap out at 200% of the base 4-person household allotment. So families with more than 8 people can't get proportional increases after that point. Then there's the update to work requirements. If you're between 18 and 65, able-bodied, and not working at least 80 hours a month or enrolled in training, you risk losing benefits. There are a few carve-outs. If you're under 18 or over 65, pregnant, medically unfit for work, or caring for a child under 14, you're exempt. Also, members of federally recognized tribes and urban Indians are excluded from the work requirement. But the enforcement is getting stricter. Waivers that let states temporarily pause these rules. Much harder to get now. For Alaska and Hawaii, they can still apply for waivers as long as they're showing good faith efforts to comply. But those waivers expire by the end of 2028, and the states have to submit quarterly reports to show they're making progress. If they don't, the federal government can cut the waiver short.
Brother. What's the point?
Something else that's changing is how utility costs factor into these SNAP calculations. Right now, households receiving energy assistance can qualify for a high reduction when determining how much food aid they receive. That helps lower their countable income. But this bill restricts that. Only households that include an elderly or disabled member can continue using the standard utility allowance. All other households lose that benefit. And internet expenses are no longer counted at all. Even though people use internet access for job searches, remote work, school, and accessing benefit portals, the bill now says those monthly service fees can't be used as part of the shelter cost deduction. So, SNAP benefits won't reflect that very real modern expense. Now here's something that could affect states more directly. There's a new cost-sharing rule tied to how accurately states manage their SNAP payments. If a state has a low error rate, under 6%, they keep full federal support. But if the error rate climbs above 10%, they'll lose 15% of their federal funding for those payments. And if they're somewhere in the middle, they still get reduced funding. So states now have a reason to be extra strict on processing, which can mean tougher verification or longer wait times for applicants. Another federal pullback is on administrative cost sharing. Up until now, the USDA covered 50% of a state's administrative costs for managing SNAP. Starting in 2027, that drops to just 25%. So states have to find more funding on their own to keep the programs running, which again could lead to fewer staff, more backlogs, or slower service for people applying. There's also a funding cutoff for the National Education and Obesity Prevention Program. That program funded nutrition education in communities, things like healthy eating classes, how to shop smart on a budget, or outreach on diabetes prevention. It's being ended after 2025. So public health education tied to SNAP benefits might quietly disappear over the next year or so. Lastly, there are changes to who qualifies for SNAP based on immigration status. From now on, only U.S. citizens, lawful permanent residents, certain Cuban and Haitian entrants, or those lawfully residing under a compact of free association agreement can receive SNAP benefits. Everyone else, including many legal non-citizens with temporary or uncertain status, will no longer qualify. And even though someone might be ineligible themselves, their income still counts against the household when calculating benefits. So for mixed status families, that can result in lower support, even if only one member is technically ineligible. All these changes add up to a much tighter system, less flexibility, more restrictions, and higher pressure on both states and individuals to meet the rules or risk losing access. This section of the bill covers Medicaid reforms under Title VII, Subtitle B, Chapter 1. It's focused on how states determine eligibility, how they handle enrollment, and how they manage costs. There's a clear shift here toward reducing federal spending by cracking down on what lawmakers are calling waste, duplication, and fraud. But what that actually means is a much more rigorous process for people applying for or staying on Medicaid. If you've ever had to recertify your benefits or help a family member navigate Medicaid forms, this part might feel especially familiar and maybe a little frustrating. So here's where it starts. The bill freezes two major Medicaid rules that would have expanded access to people in low income or elderly groups. One was meant to improve enrollment in Medicare savings programs. The other focused on making it easier to qualify for Medicaid, CHIP, and a basic health program. Both are now on hold under this new law, locked by moratorium. And that's just the start. States are now required to reduce
You know, it pisses me off because Kamala Harris fucked this up so bad when she was running her campaign. All this political jargon and shit about sandwich generation stuff. Like, you realize people, even in their, I mean, like, it depends on how old your parents were when they had you. You could be in your late 20s or your mid 20s and have old parents. And what if you have a little AI generated baby that's ambiguously raced for some reason? That baby looks black. Is that a black baby? You know, what if that's going on? So that means you have children coming into the world or already here that you have to take care of that need your help. And your parents are getting old. And maybe they don't have any money. Maybe even they are still like, maybe they got thrown out on their asses. What if they get thrown out on their ass? What are you going to do? This kind of it drones on so long, I know, that people are constantly saying that the rich are robbing the poor. And the poor go, what are you talking about? We're not getting robbed. We don't have any money. This is literally all you have if you lose everything you have. This is the only way the government can protect you. Protect you from what? From big business and everything that they do. There's no room left. There's no resources left. If there's no money to give to you to live, it goes somewhere else. You know, I never thought that there would be a way for Elon Musk to so, like, suddenly align. But holy shit. I mean, I don't know. He's insane, but fuck. You know, what's worrisome is the idea that he might think someday that it's a good idea for him to be president. We need to stop this shit. You are not good at that. What is going on? Why is he making a party? People's voices and sometimes their prowess in just what they do is better than them becoming anybody in power. You already have so much power that we even can hear your voice, you know? That you own. Dude, like, come on. Hand somebody else the sticks, you know what I'm saying?
Duplicate enrollment between Medicaid and CHIP. In theory, that sounds efficient, but in practice, it can mean more red tape for families who have children covered under CHIP and adults on Medicaid. If systems don't talk to each other well, which many don't, families could lose coverage for reasons that have nothing to do with income or need. They're also targeting people who have passed away but are still marked as enrolled in the system. States now have to regularly check for and remove deceased individuals from Medicaid rolls. Same goes for deceased providers. Doctors or clinics, they're still showing up as billable, even after they're gone. Again, this is being presented as a cost-saving measure, but it requires new systems, new software, and more oversight, which many states are already struggling to keep up with. And then we get to payment reductions. If states are making excess payments, meaning they're paying more than they should be for certain services or beneficiaries, the federal government is going to reduce the money it sends them. It's a way of saying, clean up your books or we'll send you less. Another big change is how often eligibility redeterminations happen. Basically,
So I understand, I guess, the overspending on like a case by case basis. But if we look at what is the reason a state is likely overspending, you know, and look at that on a case by case basis and regulate based on that, makes more sense to me than just being like, you know what? You for some reason have a whole bunch of people that are displaced and you're trying to feed them and you're trying to provide resources for them to get them through that shit so that they can be somewhere like, you know, that makes sense. Like you uncover some massive problem like Flint, Michigan type shit, and then the state dumps a bunch of money into that thing, and then next year you take their fucking funding from them. What the fuck are you doing? You know, it's like somebody comes to you with like a wounded arm, so you fucking kick them in the in the knee. It doesn't make any sense. Ooh, that shit's so hot. La Twisted Masquerade.
States now have to recheck whether someone still qualifies for Medicaid more frequently. So if your income goes up, or if your paperwork doesn't get submitted on time, you could be kicked off. This is
Dude. Then you better make these systems super simple to use. Because the people that need them most can't fucking use them because they're made to be so complicated that people can't get their fucking benefits. They can't get their coverage. It's so obvious. Why do we fall for this? Why do the people in this country that have strength fall for this? Are you like complicit or something? Like, what's going on? And you are. That's why fucking Donald Trump is the president. It's rough. We're taking on fucking water. And it's insane because you literally have fucking people. You see them drilling big, beautiful hole in the fucking boat. Okay. All right, we're going to take a break from this and let's try to survive this round. Whew. Okay. Ah! No! No! We're so good. We're so greedy. Absolute bro Dwight right now. Slow up. Nah, shawty, that ain't it. That ain't it. Where is he? Did he follow her? I don't think he did. I can't take it, guys. It fucking feels like this is so loud. It's like hurting my ears. I don't know what's wrong with my audio. Good lord. He doesn't stay on me, like, ever. Hard to tell what the dredge is like. It's not my, maybe I just like play against a lot of shitty dredges. But it's never my experience that they use the locker perk a whole lot, like ever. Or the locker power. I mean, a good dredge will, obviously. I don't know why you won't let somebody heal you. I don't know what's going on with you. Okay, what the fuck? Alright, do they do it now before they could get here? Yeah. Mr. Willy Philly, dude. No bueno. No bueno. No es bueno. Fuck. Be my friend. I don't know what to say. I ain't doing this. What, man? I can abandon? Is it asking me to abandon? Don't do it to me, man. I don't know when Dead by Daylight started, like, prompting you to abandon the round. That's fucked. Please don't do that. Why? Are people seriously like, how do I leave the game? It's not confusing. Not confusing at all.
is especially tough for people with fluctuating income, like hourly workers, gig workers, or anyone in seasonal jobs. And then there's the home equity limit. Right now, Medicaid has a rule that if your home is worth too much, you might not qualify for long-term care support. This bill tightens that rule even more. It raises the threshold states can use, but also gives them the option to use lower limits if they want. That could hit seniors hardest, especially those who own their homes but live on fixed incomes.
For
The next part of
real,
section deals
like,
with
does Trump like have a vendetta against like poor people his age? What the fuck? Why do you hate old poor people with nice houses, bro? What's wrong with you? It seems like you'd like to live. There should be like a world where those people could like afford to have people come into those houses and take care of them. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. You gotta ship them to like this weird little concentration camp. You know what I'm saying? Is nobody gonna help? Cool. Good stuff. Are we like doing like a second chance thing? Why is he coming after me? What the fuck did I do? Bro, what did I do? Oh sure, because it's so easy, right? Easy to hook me. Fucking dingleberry. What a fucking little turd. Can I heal myself? Is this med kit? Please tell me he's not like right over here right now. Oh. Is that always there? I don't want that up there in the corner like that. I don't like that. I don't want to be tempted to abandon. The hell? What kind of culture you breeding here? Smells like bacteria and mold to me. Ah, fuck! Why? Eat my yes, bitch. Oh, he's right there. No, 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 no. Yep. Fucked. Oh my god. I'm fucking leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm going this way. I'm gonna survive. I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. Alright. I think he finds me. Oh, he's coming this way. Damn, they're really working their little hearts out over there. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit right now. Gotta save you, Jane. I'm gonna leave you here. Get your ass over here in the corner and heal me. You better fucking walk. Where? Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, come on, man. I ain't about this life. Why are we doing pointless things? We should heal first. Oh, no. Jane, come to me. We can't stay here. Dude. Okay, I'm down with this. Yeah, bet. Absolute bet. Alright, bend over. Yo. Thank you. We're gonna win. I can feel it. 5 gens. Everybody like on second hook. I got you. No, let's heal like right here, right now. Stop moving. Oh my god, I'm so with the shits right now. Fuck, he's over there! He's over there! He's right there! Okay. I'm gonna save you. You're our last hope. No, bitch, don't die. Stop. He's dead. Wait, maybe not. How'd you get another hook? Man, I am not feeling this. I don't like this. I don't want to contribute anymore. We got 4 gens left. What's the point? I'm gonna just let these people die. Like, oh well, I suppose I could do this one. There's another, like, good little hidey hole here. He's gonna come right out of that locker. Lock that bitch up. Can I lock it? I can't. No locking. Does he got perks or something? Why can't I lock that locker? Man, I hate the dragon. I don't like that. That guy's dead. He did. No bueno. Hell no, I'm coming out of here for shit. Hell no. He's way to fuck with. Bro, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. That one's dead, right? Yeah. Great skill checks. Probably should hide. Might get a Jenny. Old Jenny. Oh god! Greats. All greats. Professional. 100%. Pro status. Okay? Winning rounds, they should put me in tournaments, okay? If anybody wants to count Benjamins, wear leather jackets, drink Kool-Aid with, I don't know, overweight, but, you know, experimental diet, dieting pop stars. No? It's not the take, eh? Okay, fuck this. What is the point in risking anything? For anything? At all? Ever? For any reason? If he's chasing you, leave me the fuck out of this. Yeah, fuck that. Hell no. Hell no. Let's be about your mind. I'm just trying to unwind. Fuck you, man. I'm just trying to deliver pizza. I got my little ass lunchbox, my fucking Lunchable bitch, and I'm going taking it upstairs and I'm gonna eat it in the break room. Right? Leave me alone. Or the whatever this is. What even is this room? Whoa. A lot of places I don't really ever look up. You know? I think it's an operating like gallery. It's like where like students like sit. Oh shit. I like carrying them right now. I'm really intrigued. My coffee's cooled off. I wonder if we make this shit happen. It's a hatch game, dude, but he ain't ever gonna play. He's just looking around for me forever. Set him down. Alright, we're gonna leave. Time to go. Oh yeah. Please don't come out of a locker. Please don't. That make me very upset. I'll let this fucker down now. This guy must be miserable. Guys up again that thing. Are you serious? How long is crow time and what is the range now? Did they change that? Okay, send it away. Get off my nuts, crow. Ah! Why? Good God, good God, good God. You gonna let her live? You gonna let her live? Cute. That's adorable. Yeah. Let me live too? Me too? Oh, nice guy? Nice guy? No wiggles. Nah, I'm chill. My fate, whatever, is in your hands. You're gonna, make me do slave labor? Alright, cool. Awesome. Oh shit, you scared me. No, please, I'm doing my job. Alright, look at me. Based. Thanks. Fuck. See greats all around, all day, all night, forever, into eternity, to infinity. Buzz Lightyear, whatever he says. I never thought I'd be shown mercy from a monster shaped like a penis. It's very strange. Doesn't feel, not really a good feeling. Absolutely, brother. We need greats. Greats. No. 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 No hiding. No hiding. Trust him. My liege. The fuck out of my face. Don't hurt me. My super favorite friend, best friend ever. Don't do it. I can help. Lunchbox. Oh my gosh. You really do need help. Oh, damn, his headband. We farm these heal points, like, please. Oh my god! No, let me blend. What do you want me to do? What should we do? Race? Come on, race. Let's go. Get to the... Alright. I win! I won! Hold on, is he gonna kill her? I want to see that. That's so mean. If he does that, this guy's sick. Let's see. He's gonna kill her! No, is he gonna hatch her? Oh, please. Please say that's what he's gonna do. Imagine he basements her. So evil. That's what I'd... Come on. Hooker! Hooker already! Just kidding. Doesn't find the hatch and kills her by accident. He's not gonna find the hatch. You can see from like his angle, and she's not looking around at all. She's like, There it is. I'll pick her up. I'll pick her up and hook her. Oh! 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 Yo! He really did it! He did it! Oh my god! Yo! I didn't expect the Mori. I didn't expect. I should have saw that coming. Who is that guy? I'm gonna send that guy a friend request. Cool guy, awesome, super cool person. Friend request sent. Absolutely amazing.
Smoke weed every day.
That was the best. That was one of my favorite moments. I don't think we're gonna top that tonight. That was glorious. Wow. The meanest of the mean play Dead by Daylight, I swear to God. Just absolute pricks. Wow. That was so funny. And that is why we love this fucking game. Holy shit.
Immigration and emergency Medicaid. It restricts Medicaid access to certain non-citizens, again reinforcing that eligibility is tied directly to lawful status. At the same time, it expands federal Medicaid support during emergencies, like natural disasters or public health crises, so states can still provide short-term care in urgent situations. Now, moving into spending oversight, the bill places a lawful status access to certain non-citizens, again reinforcing that eligibility is tied directly to lawful status. At the same time, it expands federal Medicaid support during emergencies, like natural disasters or public health crises, so states can still provide short-term care in urgent situations. Now, moving into spending oversight, the bill places a pause on implementing staffing rules for long-term care facilities. That was a rule designed to make sure there were enough nurses and caregivers in nursing homes. By freezing it, facilities aren't required to hire more staff, even if residents need more care.
Dude, that is fucking disastrous. Are you serious? Yo!
This could reduce costs for nursing homes, but it might also reduce the... Moving into spending oversight, the bill places a pause on, again reinforcing that eligibility...
Why else would you want to reduce costs for nursing homes unless you could provide, it was to ensure you could provide better care. And then oh my God, bro, I don't know what the implication is that most nursing homes are overstaffed? What? Okay.
is tied directly to lawful status. At the same time, it expands federal Medicaid support during emergencies, like natural disasters or public health crises, so states can still provide short-term care in urgent situations. Now, moving into spending oversight, the bill places a pause on implementing staffing rules for long-term care facilities. That was a rule designed to make sure there were enough nurses and caregivers in nursing homes. By freezing it, facilities aren't required to hire more staff, even if residents need more care. This could reduce costs for nursing homes, but it might also reduce the quality of care for patients, especially seniors. States are also being pushed to reduce their Medicaid costs across the board. That includes limiting who can qualify, lowering reimbursement rates, and cutting back on services that go beyond the federal minimum. And here's one that's making headlines, banning federal payments to certain providers. This clause targets prohibited entities, which could include organizations that provide abortion services, depending on how states interpret the law. The exact impact is still unclear, but it opens the door to broader restrictions on where people can receive care, especially low-income women. The next set of rules go after financing strategies that states have used for years. Things like provider taxes or state-directed payments. Basically creative ways states use federal matching funds are now facing new restrictions. Some states rely heavily on these mechanisms to keep their Medicaid...
Dude, this AI artwork is getting out of control. Look at this fucking thing back here. Hold on a second. Huh. Let me just... Can I... I can. Whoa. I can't get any closer than that, but look at his fucking head. Like, I think I can just... Like, look at that guy's head back there, bro. Bro, look at her fucking hands. What the hell? Good God. Stop using these AI generated what you could just get stock footage. Oh my God, that looks fucking horrifying. God.
Budgets balanced, so tightening them could cause ripple effects on access and services. There's also a new requirement that Medicaid demonstration projects, these are state-level experiments with new care models, must now be budget neutral. That's not totally new, but the language here gives federal authorities more power to enforce it. So states won't be able to pilot new ideas unless they can prove up front that it won't cost more. And finally, this section introduces community engagement requirements, also known as work requirements, for certain Medicaid recipients. States must now require certain adults to work, volunteer, or participate in approved activities in order to maintain coverage. This doesn't apply to everyone. There are exemptions, but for adults without dependents or disabilities, it's a big shift. The idea is that people should contribute if they can, but critics argue it often punishes those with unstable job situations or limited transportation options. They're also tightening cost-sharing rules. That means more people could be required to pay small amounts, co-pays, or premiums to stay enrolled in Medicaid. It's not a huge dollar amount per person, but for people living paycheck to paycheck, it could be just enough to push them off the program. Yeah. So overall, this section is all about stricter oversight, tighter eligibility, and more pressure.
It's the exact reason why everybody says
it'll make
no
Medicaid more efficient and accountable. But for people trying to navigate the system,
a health
especially
insurance
those with
plan,
limited income
when you
shifting
barely make
circumstances,
any money,
these changes can make it harder
so
to stay covered, or even to get enrolled in the first place. This section comes from Title 7, Subtitle A, Chapters 1 and 2 of the bill. It's all about taxes, specifically cutting them for the middle class, families with kids, and yes, seniors. There's been a lot of political talk about this being a tax relief plan for working Americans, and some of that's true. But when you actually read the details, you start to see where the benefits land and where they don't. There are some permanent cuts, some temporary boosts, and a few new ideas like removing taxes on tips and overtime pay. But there are also limits, trade-offs, and income thresholds that could quietly leave some folks out. So let's start with the basics. The standard deduction, which is the amount you can subtract from your income before taxes are calculated, is staying high. That's good news for most taxpayers. It's especially helpful for people who don't itemize their deductions, and that includes a lot of retirees. The bill locks in this increased standard.
You know, is it just me? I don't mean to, like, I use ChatGPT for, like, a lot of my stream ideas and stuff like that. Like, right now. Like, you know, I like this stuff. I want to make this kind of content. You know? But ChatGPT will give you, like, written out stuff that's, like, pretty good. And it uses these weird hyphens, like, that nobody uses. Like, when they write. Or at least that I know, that the people that I know that write. And that's latent throughout this video. And there's a bunch of AI generated artwork, like, this is so creepy. I don't know what to say. This one looks pretty good. This old lady's got 5 fingers. Her thumb looks a little rectangular and weird. She looks like she's got like a Lego thumb. But, yeah.
Standard deduction, so it doesn't shrink back down in a few years like it was originally set to. Now here's something more specific to seniors. There's a temporary senior deduction being carved out. While the bill removes most personal exemptions across the board, it makes an exception for seniors by allowing a special deduction just for them. That means if you're 65 or older, you'll still get a break that younger taxpayers won't. But it's important to know that this senior deduction phases out at higher income levels. So if you're a retiree with a decent pension, investments, or other income, you might not qualify for the full amount. And guess what? They're also adjusting the child tax credit again. This one's interesting because it's being expanded, and it'll now include a more generous formula that makes it easier to qualify for the full credit.
Bro, what the hell? This is distracting as shit. I know that this is not what I'm trying to focus on, but the artwork that's being used for this is so fucking derpy. Because it's AI generated garbage. Look at what the hell, dude? It's just like gibberish, like I don't know, man. I guess it's not the fact that the AI artwork is shitty. It's the fact that there was a human that was like, "This is fine. I'll just put this in the video. That's all right." You don't know how terrible this looks. It's sad.
Credit, especially for families with more than one child. The phase-out thresholds are still there, but the credit itself is bigger, and more of it is refundable, meaning you can get money back even if you don't owe taxes. That's a win for lower-income families. The qualified business income deduction is also being extended. This one's mostly for small business owners, freelancers, and people with side income. If you run a small LLC, work as an independent contractor, or have rental income, you may have already been using this deduction. Under the bill, it sticks around with some tweaks to the income caps and limits. And now for something a little newer, no tax on tips. If you earn money in tips, like restaurant workers, hairstylists, valet drivers, this part's gonna stand out. The bill proposes eliminating income taxes on tipped wages. Sounds simple, but it's actually a pretty big shift in how the IRS handles reported income. This could increase take-home pay for millions of workers, especially in hospitality and service jobs. But of course, we'll have to see how the IRS plans to enforce it or prevent abuse. Right next to that is another headline piece, no tax on overtime. If you're an hourly worker who puts in more than 40 hours, the extra money you earn for that overtime wouldn't be taxed under this bill. That's designed to reward hard work and incentivize people to take extra shifts. The catch is there may be income caps that limit against this benefit. So if your regular wages plus your overtime push you above a certain threshold, you might not get the full break. And then there's this one, no tax on car loan interest. If you're financing a vehicle, the interest you pay on that loan could be tax deductible under this bill. That's a new idea, meant to ease the burden of high auto loan rates. But again, there's fine print. You'll likely have to choose between this deduction and others, depending on how you file. And it probably won't apply to luxury vehicles. Another major piece is the creation of Trump accounts, which are being introduced as government-seeded savings or investment accounts for eligible individuals. The idea here is to encourage long-term savings, especially among young people and new parents. For a set period, qualifying families could get up to $1,000 seeded by the government into these accounts. That money could grow over time, similar to a Roth IRA or education savings account, but it would come with restrictions on how and when it can be used. Supporters say this is about building wealth from the bottom up. Critics argue that a one-time $1,000 contribution doesn't go far, especially for families struggling to make rent or cover groceries. And while it's being framed as a benefit for the middle class, the income phase-outs and limits could keep lower-income households from getting the full advantage. And something a lot of folks miss, many of the big deductions that used to exist before 2017 are still not coming back. Things like miscellaneous itemized deductions or the full state and local tax deduction are still limited. That means if you live a high-tax state like California, New York, or New Jersey, you might not see a huge tax cut when all is said and done. There's also a cap on how much value you can get from itemized deductions overall.
Which is so
even
odd.
if you're donating to charity, paying mortgage interest, or dealing with large medical bills, your deductions might be limited based on your income level. A few other updates tucked in here. The bill keeps the ABLE account benefits, which help people with disabilities save money.
Because like, isn't that the kind of wasn't that what all the Republicans were like bitching about? Was like living in California and having to pay shitloads of taxes, so they're not even going to see those breaks anywhere. Living in that state, they had to go to Texas anyway. Like, so what the fuck? Oops.
Without losing access to federal aid. It extends the ability to roll over from a 529 college savings plan into an ABLE account too. That's a helpful bridge for families who save for college, but later realize the funds would be better used for disability-related expenses. And there's a continuation of the policy that allows student loans discharged due to death or disability to be excluded from taxable income. This was originally passed during COVID relief efforts, and now it's being made permanent. So yeah, there's a lot packed into this section. On paper, it's a big tax cut for working families, seniors, and small businesses. But the structure favors people who already have some financial stability. If your income is too low, you might not benefit from deductions because you don't owe enough taxes to begin with. If your income is too high, you might phase out of eligibility. And that middle ground, that's where the bill is really aiming. People who work full-time earn
Looks like a bunch of Asian people.
enough to owe taxes, but not so much that they lose the
With
credits.
horrifyingly
Seniors who still
disfigured
file
faces.
returns, but don't have large retirement
Random
incomes.
black guy in the
Families with
middle.
multiple kids and 2 earners. For those groups, this could offer real relief.
Is that Noam
For everyone
Chomsky?
else, it may feel like a mixed bag. This section is part of Title VII, Chapter 2, and Chapter 4. It expands on some of the tax changes we talked about earlier, but with a specific focus on families, children, and savings. A lot of these policies are framed as ways to help working parents, caregivers, and future generations build a better financial foundation. And at the center of it all is something new, the Trump account. You'll hear a lot about this in the coming months.
The
so
Trump
it's worth
account,
understanding
dude.
what it actually is, how it works, and what kind of impact it could really have.
It's on the
So,
floor
the Trump
there.
account,
Juice
officially
box.
called a contribution pilot program, is a new government-backed savings tool. It's designed to automatically deposit up to $1,000 for every qualifying child born between 2025
Medicaid renewal dab line, dude. That's what I need. I need a dab line whenever I have to get my Medicaid renewal. I need a line I can call to get that wax hooked up real quick. You know what I'm saying?
in 2029. That money would go into a special investment account controlled by the child's family, and it's meant to grow over time through interest or market performance. The idea is to give each child a small head start in life, sort of like a baby bond or a government-seeded Roth account. Now, this sounds pretty promising at first glance, but the bill doesn't specify
A
everything.
baby bond, dude.
There's still a lot of questions about who qualifies, how the money is managed, what investment options are offered, and when the funds can actually be used. And while the program is being promoted as a major benefit, $1,000 spread over 18 years without additional contributions won't create life-changing wealth. So in that way, it might feel more symbolic than transformational.
Dude, this person didn't even use like a real picture of the Capitol building. Like, what the fuck?
families.
Why?
That said,
All right, whatever. Fuck that. We ain't worried about that shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. I don't remember how to play against Owen Rio. I don't remember. Oh! Girl. Done gone down again. Sweet. I think I pissed her off. I don't know what I'm doing. I forgot how to play against her. I truly did. Fucking bullshit. What is that? What is oh, is it because I'm holding a tape, dude? Or is that just some shit that they, is that just some perk they have? Fucking impossible to get a goddamn jet. bitch is short and fast. Get it. Big balls. I'll go get him. Gay! That's what I got to say about that. That was annoying. But we got a lot of quests done, I guess. Holy shit. What a dick.
For lower income households who don't have access to savings tools at all, it's a start. If this program actually gets the support systems it needs, like automatic enrollment, no fees, and good financial education, it could grow into something more meaningful. But for now, it's a test run. Right alongside the Trump account is a group of tax credits aimed at helping families right now, not just years down the line. First up is the Child Independent Care Tax Credit. This is meant to help parents offset the cost of childcare, which, as we all know, can be outrageous. Under this bill, the credit is expanded. The percentage of expenses you can claim goes up, and more families can qualify for the maximum amount. That's especially helpful.
I'm pretty sure that was a Biden thing, right? And so he's just going to expand that now?
Well, at least he's making the good shit that was in there better.
For two-parent households where both parents work full-time.
The good shit
There's
that was
also an
already there.
expansion of the Dependent Care Assistance Program. That's the benefit some employers offer where you can set aside pre-tax dollars for childcare. This bill raises the limit on how much you can put into that account, meaning you can shelter more of your income from taxes if you use it for daycare or after-school care. And then there's the adoption credit, which gets a boost too. If you're adopting a child, especially one with special needs, the new rules make it easier to claim the full credit, and they broaden the definition of who qualifies.
Okay, I do like that.
In fact, tribal governments are now recognized as having authority to determine whether a child has special needs. That's a meaningful update for Native families who often face unique adoption challenges. For people with disabilities, the bill enhances tax treatment of ABLE accounts, which are savings accounts that don't count against benefit eligibility. There's an increased contribution limit for these accounts, and you can now roll over money from certain retirement or college savings plans into them. That's a helpful option for families who started saving for one purpose and then found their needs changed. What's more, the employer-provided child care tax credit is also expanded. This means if your job helped pay for your child's care, either through on-site programs or by subsidizing outside providers, your employer could get a bigger credit for offering that support. And ideally, that could encourage more companies to provide family-friendly benefits. And if you're a student or helping someone pay off student loans, the bill includes a small but noteworthy provision. The exclusion for employer payments towards student loans is being kept and extended. That means if your workplace offers student loan repayment assistance, you won't be taxed on the money they contribute. This provision was originally introduced as a temporary pandemic-era perk, but under the new bill, it sticks around a bit longer. The bill also tweaks what counts as a qualified education expense under 529 savings plans. Things like credentialing programs and certain post-secondary job training courses now qualify. That's helpful for students who aren't on a traditional college track, but still need specialized training to enter a trade or career. And just like with the senior deduction, these family credits phase out. If you're earning above certain thresholds, especially as a couple, some of the most generous parts of these benefits start to shrink. So families on the higher end of the income spectrum might still benefit, but not as much. So then, what's the bigger takeaway here? This section of the bill is clearly trying to position itself as pro-family, pro-parent, and pro-child.
Yeah.
It offers a combination of immediate tax relief and longer-term savings incentives. But at the same time, it's layered with complexity, eligibility limits, caps, phase-outs, and uncertain implementation details. And while the Trump account is getting the most attention, it's arguably the part with the least guaranteed impact.
So that second part to me just sounds like it's in there to be in there to make the bill look beautiful. And that's the problem with beautiful things. They can appear pretty on the outside, but what they're composed of, what really makes them what they are, and when you ingest it, when you have to incorporate it into your physiology, it actually turns out to be toxic and rotten, infested with bacteria beneath the surface of it. Beauty does not always indicate health and fucking that naturally it's supposed to. I mean, it's really supposed to. But like it feels like when it comes from people, we just know how to mimic beauty so well. So that's optics. That's what this is. You know? It's like, and so I guess like the pain in the ass about this weird AI made video is that like we're not reading exactly what those caps and those limits are that fuck up the real world impact. But
a one-time $1,000 deposit sounds good in a headline, but unless it's paired with
yeah,
strong
just
follow programs and support, it's not going to dramatically change someone's financial future.
just the fact that it's there just means it just feels like more leading along.
Still, it opens the door to a bigger
Just to make you
conversation
feel
about how we support the next generation.
to make you feel like I don't know the whole like this whole Trump movement like you actually did something, you know, like there's actually a wave that's been made. It's just more of the same. There is nothing that comes from the rich that is for the poor or middle class.
This section appears under Title VII, Chapter 5, and it marks a major policy turn in the way the government approaches energy and climate investment. It's essentially split into two parts. First, it pulls the plug on a wide range of clean energy tax credits and subsidies, many of which were put in place to reduce emissions and support green innovation. Then, it shifts funding and tax incentives toward traditional energy, like oil, gas, and certain industrial manufacturing. Supporters call this a return to energy independence. Critics see it as a rollback of climate progress. Either way, the impact is real and far-reaching, especially for people working in or investing in energy sectors. So let's start with the repeals. The bill terminates just about every major tax credit tied to clean energy that was passed over the last few years. That includes the previously owned clean vehicle credit, the new EV credit, credits for commercial.
With this whole like green like the whole push for you know, efficiency, like environmental concern, we're now like in a cycle of reward and punishment based on whoever's in power, and it's fucking cringe. And that's all that this next section of the bill is gonna like come down to.
Commercial clean vehicles, and even a refueling property credit that help people and businesses install EV charging stations. All gone. That's not just a hit to buyers. It also removes financial incentives for car companies, developers, and infrastructure providers who are building business plans around these credits. If you're planning to buy electric...
Man, this AI artwork is wild. I don't know.
and get some money back at tax time, that window just closed. Same goes for home upgrades. The residential clean energy
Does
credit,
it say
the energy efficient
Snape?
home improvement credit, and even deduction for energy efficient commercial buildings are all being phased out.
Does that say Snape? What is that? Snape? Get your Snape stuffing, dude. What the hell?
Or ended immediately. So if you're thinking about installing solar panels, upgrading insulation, or switching to more efficient heating, those incentives might no longer be available. That could slow down adoption for homeowners who are already on the fence.
Now here's one you might not hear much about. The bill also removes or limits several energy production credits, like the one for clean hydrogen and investment credits for zero-emission electricity. Those were part of the broader strategy to move toward lower carbon energy production. Under this bill, they're either cut off or capped. They're also shutting down advanced manufacturing production credits, including those that support battery production and semiconductor supply chains. And that's a big one, because even if you don't work in those industries, those supply chains affect everything from consumer electronics to grid reliability to electric vehicles. So that's the rollback part. What about the pivot? In subchapter B of this section, the bill shifts its support to America First energy policies, which means expanding tax breaks and financial incentives for fossil fuel producers. That includes things like clean fuel production credits, which sound like they support renewables, but in this case are being modified to include things like biofuels or natural gas derivatives, not necessarily wind or solar. There are also restrictions placed on carbon capture subsidies, meaning fewer incentives to store or offset emissions. But in the same breath, the bill reclassifies income.
You know, why don't we just go back to, like, you know, we'll be like the Flintstones, you know? Fuck it. Why do we just need to go back to that? Why don't we, like, sticks and rocks and shit, you know? We'll build mud huts. Just live in those. Raise chickens. Fuck it. You know? Why not? You want to roll back technology all the way back to, like, the fucking Stone Age? This is crazy. This is so stupid. It's like you're basically saying, like, we have to do this because there are still a bunch of old people around with a lot of money invested in it. So fucking what? I don't know, man. What? You know, eventually all this shit's gonna run out, and then what? War, like absolute all-out fucking war over resources. Okay, cool, sweet. It just kind of seems like you would want to base, you know, your energy, like the shit that, like, you need forever. Like, if you want a human species to go on forever, I guess we're so fixated on that concept of passing our genes on forever. That's, of course, the whole goal, right? And so, I don't know how you do that if the shit that you need to do that is gonna run the fuck out. Right? It just seems so simple that you would need to find a source that just never runs out. So why would you go back? I don't know, man. Whatever. Better figure out how to get to space, Trump, because holy shit. Bro's just going to peace out in like 2 years anyway. This motherfucker's going to die. You know, everybody wants to talk about all the time about how old Biden was and he could just die at any moment. You get, like...
And advanced nuclear
Fucked
is
up,
eligible
man.
for special tax treatment under publicly traded partnerships. That means companies in these spaces can start attracting more investors by offering tax-deferred income, much like oil and gas pipelines have done for years. They also allow deductions for intangible drilling and development costs, which is a tax break oil companies have used for decades. These costs, like planning, site prep, and equipment, can now be written off faster, which lowers the company's tax bills and incentivizes more drilling. And here's one that sounds niche, but really isn't. They're allowing special payments to individuals who die fuel. That's a reference to colored diesel fuels used in agriculture and construction. It's a small line item, but it shows just how deep this bill goes in trying to remove regulatory or financial burdens on traditional energy users. There's also a ban on extending the Advanced Energy Project Credit, which is one of the key tools used to lure clean tech companies into building factories in the U.S. Without that credit, it becomes harder to justify large, capital-intensive green projects, especially if they're competing against fossil fuel alternatives that just got new tax breaks. So, taken together, what does all this really mean? For one, it's a huge reversal of the direction we've been heading for the last 5 to 10 years. Clean energy industries that were scaling up with federal support will now have to rely more on private funding or cut costs. And that could slow job growth in those sectors or even trigger layoffs in places that were counting on green investment. Meanwhile, fossil fuel companies, drilling operations, and heavy manufacturing groups are getting a clear signal. Go ahead, expand. The financial incentives are back. The oversight is lighter, and the government's on board. That said, this section doesn't eliminate all green energy support. Some programs, like limited hydrogen development or geothermal investment, are still technically eligible for tax benefits. But overall, the tilt of this chapter is unmistakable. Less about reducing emissions, more about promoting U.S.-based production, especially in oil, gas, and heavy industrial processes. If you're home,
You know, Minnesota really leaned into the corn thing, like the corn fuel thing. We got like a big ass ethanol plant around here. Hope all of y'all that worked at the ethanol plant that were huge Trump supporters really happy with the fucking choice you made, motherfucker, because you're about to get fucked in your ass. Okay, I don't know what to say.
homeowner, small business
Enjoy.
owner, or someone who recently installed clean
Better
energy
go
systems with the help of federal credits.
Get your ass ready, pack your bags, and go work out on the oil rig, motherfucker, because that's where you're going.
These changes create a lot of uncertainty. It's also worth noting, this section doesn't really include a lot of transition support. It doesn't offer funding to help clean energy.
Oh, shit. Or wait, no. What do? They do fracking?
And the speed of that shift will probably be felt most in rural areas.
They go and
small
they,
towns,
like,
and
put it-
industrial hubs that were betting on clean tech investment.
Put your dick in the dirt, suck out the
This
oil.
section is from Title 8, subtitles B through F, and it's all about education, especially how college is paid for and how student loans are handled. Now, this part doesn't wipe out debt or offer forgiveness the way some people hope for, but it does reshape the rules around borrowing, repayment, and how the government funds higher education moving forward. One of the biggest changes here is a new cap on how much students can borrow for graduate programs. Right now, if you're pursuing...
I'm getting a little tired of listening to the fucking HAL 9000 tell me about this shit in this really monotonous voice. Graduate loan cap set at $50,000 total. $50,000 total, not per year. So they can no longer lend out any more than $50,000. You know, I guess we all have different ways to solve the issue, but this is like the opposite of how a liberal would solve this problem. And it's a little annoying because you're basically saying like any rich kid can get like a fabulous education and probably even get $50,000 in loans. But me, like I couldn't do that, like because my parents did not have that kind of money. All I get is $50,000. I can't borrow. I literally can't borrow anymore. Is that what that is? Graduate loan cap set at $50,000 total. Not per year. It just seems weird. Seems like it would solve the problem, right? Like predatory loans, well, you just basically don't allow anything that even looks like a predatory loan. Then your problem is solved. But then people don't have access to the funding to get the education that they want. Huh. You know, we may not have had a lot of freedom, but I guess we had the freedom to go into debt, and now we don't even have that. Cool. That's interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know where the funding comes from then.
Pursuing a master's, a PhD, or a professional degree like law or medicine, you can usually take out federal loans up to the full cost of attendance. But under this bill, that amount would now be capped at $50,000 total. Not per year, total. That's a huge shift. You can probably guess why this is controversial. For many graduate programs, especially private ones, $50,000 barely scratches the surface. So if this goes through, students would have to either come up with the rest out of pocket or look for private loans, which
Yeah. Oh, never mind. So it's just the federal government. Oh, cool. Great. Awesome. You know, what is all this bullshit, bro, that Trump is bailing out middle America? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? He just handed like these predatory private loan places, like all this bullshit. Just handed them like the playbook for how to predate the American, like young American mind. So spare me all this shit that Republicans don't trust. Yeah, they don't trust you know what? The education system, they don't trust universities, but they trust the people that are giving shitloads of money to these kids to get jobs that for some reason still aren't allowing them to pay back these massive loans. And now from their own government, they can't take the money. Only $50,000 so that they're pushed to go ask these private lenders. It's fucking disgusting.
usually come with higher interest rates and fewer protections. Now, this change is being pitched as a way to control college inflation. The idea being that if students can't borrow unlimited sums, schools won't keep raising tuition unchecked. And while that sounds good in theory, the short-term effect could make graduate school less accessible for low and middle-income students. So yeah, this one's going to spark some strong opinions. Besides the loan cap, the bill also limits how loan forgiveness programs are applied. The popular public service loan forgiveness program and other income-driven repayment plans are not eliminated, but the bill tries to narrow their scope. That means fewer types of jobs would qualify, and the terms for forgiveness could take longer to reach. The argument here is that blanket forgiveness is too expensive, especially when paired with other spending cuts. But for borrowers who are counting on those programs to make their debt manageable, it might feel like the rug is being pulled out. What's more, the bill includes new reporting requirements for schools. Basically, colleges will now have to report the earnings of their graduates alongside their tuition rates. This is part of a value for money push. If your degree costs $80,000, but the average grad only earns $35,000 a year, that school might face penalties or lose access to some federal funds. It's meant to hold institutions accountable for their outcomes. And speaking of outcomes,
not gonna lie, that sounds pretty dope. That sounds kind of cool. But you know what it's gonna do? It's gonna push schools to present failure rates, right? And blame it on the student. Correct? Like, You have to like put everything into context. You have to think about every factor, okay? Because if you're just like, all right, we're going to penalize schools that have graduates that aren't earning, you'll probably wind up with less graduates, bro. I have theory. We'll see. But I just have it in theory that you're going to have a lot more dropouts, quote unquote. You know? Or, failures, I guess. Whatever. Yeah.
The bill also goes after low-performing colleges, especially those with high dropout rates or heavy reliance on federal loans. These schools could see stricter oversight, and in some cases, they might be barred from accepting federal aid altogether. That's a serious blow for for-profit institutions, which are often
I
flagged.
gotta take a piss.
Sir, this is OBP from Boston. Oh, I like the way it sounds already. Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Well, I'll tell you, summertime is coming up, and there's nothing better than a pop rap jingle. So, if these boys are ready, let's make the magic happen, okay? Sir, sit down and buckle your seatbelt because they're ready. Well, we can sure get the backing for you if you can just lay it down. I ran away from home to be a big star. I'll take you far, cooler than Keith with big teeth. I'm known to drop needles on shit like the Beatles. I get dumb like Tweedle, boogie nights like Don Cheadle. Got the muscle and hustle to box you out like Bill Russell. When I tussle, MC's feathers get ruffled. Got an attitude of gratitude, living in my latitude and longitude. But don't make me switch moves and get rude, dude. Please, what you talking about, Willis? Can you feel it when I microphone DNA? Now who done it? I don't know. Oh, well, I don't know. Wait. I don't know. Put your brakes on. Ain't no need for alarm. Never cause harm. Just came by to drop the bomb. So please remain seated, cause I'm about to rock the cabin and the Casbah. I wanna hump a lot. Give me moment, mama. Hey, I think you just triple dog dared me. Bring more funk to Europe than armpits. That's hairy. Very scary. Please don't knock it till you try it. Judge a book by the cover and you're bound to start a riot. Over a ruckus. Hip hop's dead, so what's the fuss? Am I lying? Oh, what's the matter? Yo, James crying. Too sexy for my shirt. Whack MCs never get hurt by the critics. Went back in time and asked who the fuck did this shit right here. Well, I think we're on to something to say the least. My goodness. Well, fellas, how's this? Does this ring a bell? SoundScan is gonna be awfully easy for cheesy, okay? And if that makes sense to you, then you're seeing dollar signs.
I'm coming in like Greg Street. Right about it. It's time to rock the beat. Old bluff, so wicked a weird owl. Brothers alive, but I bet you I'm Liverson with the quick first step, like my man Allen Iverson. That's quick. My beats go upside your head like hoops. Take it when I get back to work. I'm going ape shit. 2K trade the jester jumps upon the scene with the lean and my chug rock record. The big man here to Japan. I understand like I track from way back. Watermelon man. I get my energy from the PRO. Proton, give me that neutron. I'm rocking on Hypervision. See how we turn it out. Remix beats from up north to down south. Freestyle battle, the baddest lyricist. Evidence, murder, weapon, confession, and fingerprints. I'm kicking it up a few notches like Emerald. Bam, I could make you dance, baby. Back that ass up or rock the jam. I called the doctor and the doctor said there'll be no more hookers jumping in the jester's bed. The Rock says, no, you're damn wrong. So do I now, jabroni. You don't want to see the jester's eyebrow, but why now? I plead guilty to the flow, son. Confess in stereo.
Okay, listen, fellas, here, what's the problem? Okay, I was told that you were going to do a summertime pop rap jingle. Now, what I'm hearing does not really sound like that. So, let's back up. Let's find out where the communication broke down. I'm sure it's a simple fix. Okay? Nothing has to be fixed here. This is what they do. I don't care if it's popular with the kids you know, because the kids I know, that is not what's hitting. Okay, sir, I'm talking proven demographics here. There is an audience for this. It's out there. Well, then maybe this isn't the group I'm looking for, because personally, I could have you guys in Tiger Beat every week, okay? Do you like that? You like Tiger Beat? Okay, well, if you do, then I can get you on the cover. But you gotta follow me.
Come from something to think about.
Yeah, well, it's that optical polygraph that walk this path at a steady pace and make a change every day but keep the same face. I stay at home even if I'm in a strange place. You falsify notions that you can occupy the same space. So let's face it, I rhyme so I don't have to break my back making slave wages and build with cats that keep the turf wet in the dry season. But some find it pleasing and tax, squeezing they skillet, cooking up kicks and clothes on their back. And as far as your cap, man, that peeling shit's for oranges, man, we folding it back. Because the O's for origami. When I got my people by me, best believe me. When you see me, you don't even wanna try me. I don't drink Dasani cause I switched to Aquafina. Even though Coca-Cola says the tenant bottle's cleaner. There's more to life, so I guess the plot stick up than getting these points across like seeing inside tickets. And brothers be like, yo, Wistic, I wanna rock with ya, but forgot to hit you up cause I was sucking on that swisher. I'm drinking hard liquor with no mixer with my browser and Google or Alta Vista, researching for ways to get ya. Eye detector. Because we seen it all, but recognize what we want to. A problem ain't such until the circumstance confronts you and keep you backing up until there ain't nowhere to run to. And karmic implication builds a wall you can't run through. Eye detector. Eye detector.
Even if you know the words, do some special, careful listening.
I keep acquaintance with beings alike that share in my plight. Revolutionary types that lay patient until the fruit is ripe and cut it off the tree of life with a knife the size of this rock twice. But since you measure everything in megabytes and zip this, the width of Jupiter wouldn't suffice in this case. I plant seeds like keys in your brain for you to misplace. You slipping like you skating on boards without the grip tape by thinking it could never be you, and that's a mistake. I'm sacrificing money for truth, and it shows every time I spit a rhyme in the booth. But understand that if you in this industry and hold a gun because you're nervous, it's probably because you got credit and don't deserve it. It's probably because you were wicked and self-serving. It's probably because we could notice you're uncertain, and out of nowhere you might find yourself hurting. At the end of Act 7, it's time to close curtain. Eye detector. Because we seen it all, but recognize what we want to. A problem ain't such until the circumstance confronts you and keep you backing up until there ain't nowhere to run to. And karmic implication builds a wall you can't run through. Eye detector. Eye detector. Eye detector. Eye detector. Whatever I see, I attack. But I can see through you. Oh, wow. Look at that. But I can see through you.
Say, we've given our ears lots of exercise, and our eyes and our mouths, and yes, our heads too. Thanks for joining me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Lance Goodthrust here at KWIZ, and we're here with another exciting boxing match. Keep swinging till you had enough, and right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. Keep swinging till you had enough, and right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. We keep swinging till you had enough, and right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. Keep swinging till you had enough, and right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. It's open season on optimists with open pocket wisdom and closed caption for activists banking on cataclysm. I'm spanking this crack monkey with paddles with holes in them till his belief system is frayed like old denim. Desperately seeking circles with no police in them, but it's all because the streets keep beating the same rhythm. Ask me about your man, I told you I can't feel him. It's like a flaky pastry with manure filling. That's why you never catch me at the bounce. They give me stupid stares like I pull down my pants and have braided pubic hairs. So put your hands up and guard your eyes from the glare. Psyche-O will bring the juice like electric chairs. Come along for the ride, you can catch us there. But you best arrive quick, cause you never know where you might end up. When the brain stretches to the point where things are far-fetched, like having no arms and doing chin-ups or having 10 nuts. And walking with a severe limp is kinda cool, cause it looks like a pimp strut. We keep swinging till you had enough, and right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. We keep swinging till you had enough, and right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. We keep swinging till you had enough, and right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. We keep it off the beaten path, off-road like four-wheelers, officially four fillers at F-Lord to the ceiling shit. We killing this, and it's about time not to
take ownership because it's yours to find. That's right. Multiply it faster than exponents and nine. Opponents design escape routes when they find out their armor all's gone and they're all shined out. Hit them right below the chin, make them scream time out. With undertones darker than again a stout as Hattie Porter. We keep your brain distorted like a broken tape recorder, but stay organized like I'm on a token sorter. With 2 quarters for an order turns to disorder. Synthesis and Dave Matter be the mortar between the bricks that make this style stick like adhesive stamps. So when the beast advance, you might at least get your chance to bring the pain like jagged edge nipple clamps. Ha! We keep swinging till you had enough, and right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. We keep swinging till you had enough, and right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. We keep swinging till you had enough, and right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. We keep swinging till you had enough. Now I'ma hand it off to Satan, fuck it up, right?
Look at that fella, big burly opponent. Left, right, left, right.
When I'm swinging, I'm landing.
Thank you everyone for keeping your dial locked here.
We keep it at the point where the balloon is being pierced with the pen. At the point of passing out in the opium den, with the pen scribbling your last thoughts before you drift off into deep rim with saliva dripping down your chin. So grab a napkin before walls start collapsing and falling in on this labyrinth that you're trapped in. The worst things happen during momentary lapses of rational objective thought. When the brain's caught between doing what you feel is right and doing what you want. Sitting around playing games and having time to front. Slapping on the plastic and stabbing a stunt raw because it isn't enough to keep the cock to a jaw. It's dangerous to give scent dap with his crab claws, and even more so to play with Dave's circular saw. Searching for flaws is only permitted when you're seeing if we're staying in the boundaries of copyright law. That's why we keep swinging till you had enough. And right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. We keep swinging till you had enough. And right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. We keep swinging till you had enough. And right before the bell sounds, hit you with another uppercut. We keep swinging till you had enough. Ha 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 ha.
DJ Synthesis and DJ Danger for chiming in with our commercial messages. We'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
clap your hands, everybody, if you got what it takes. Yes, yes, y'all, you don't stop. Check it out, y'all. Rock on. I'm with Stick. I don't stop. Planeswalker's crew. Rock on. I'm Locksmith. You don't stop. Survivalist squad. Rock on. Synthesis, y'all. DJ Danger, y'all. Check it out, y'all. Rock on. I'm the planet pool shark. Knock the earth into a black hole for match point without scratching. Yo, I'm all action. Like subtitle Jet Li flick. Niggas know my whole name, but only choose to use the prefix. Tread in this dimension never come seasick. The wrong place if you're looking for cats to beef with. Do whatever we see fit. Make no mistake, we're Stick rock the beats and rock the break. Like I be barbecuing and hooping, interacting with fam. Black soul happening. Black Janine and Joanne. Full-time jobs for 4 cats staying alive. Survivalist, keeping my eyes on the prize. Spending my own loot. Record label getting the shaft. CDs and 12 inches, gotta finish the lab. Another ADAT. Need a bigger board, in fact. But my job right now won't afford me that. Cause we describe MC as mysterious creation. Interplanetary nationwide presentation. Spontaneity without the signs of hesitation. No procrastination. But still we got the patience to let the planets move and acknowledge the variation. You other cats sit back and watch. I'm done waiting. Plain surfing while you on the ground skating. Cause in the mirror is exactly what you up against. There's no negotiation. This is for all the hospital patients. Jump out your bed, smack a doctor. There's no negotiation. To everybody on the streets blazing, staying out the view of helicopters. There's no negotiation. This is for the Jamaicans and Haitians. Jump on the floor, roll down. There's no negotiation. To people walking to the train station, keeping traffic down, using ground transportation. While we up under this blue moon, let's live to the fullest and pull the trigger so we can be #1 with a bullet. Nobody runs the rock better than Lock and Spigot. I'm sick. Figure the endless lyrical scheme out, niggas spit that quick. And then when you get me, I'm a stick, man, that shit's over with. Ladies, we the people that put the P in porno flicks. Swift with the tongue, swift with the back action, hung like a Clydesdale. Try to get your hun sprung. Boy. It's all fluid. We manage the mic like Denny Green do Vikings. Quick to battle like a Cobra striking. And even more poison us than drinking straight phosphorus. We all over the track. You flatline, but not enough. So what you got for us? What you got for us? Man, what you got for us? At your shows, you can hear a pin drop while we getting crowds amped like they cheering on Maximus. So relax and just be a sponge for a second and absorb it. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Gladiator. I spit a flame verse, then turn around and spit the same verse. And tell your stupid ass it wasn't rehearsed. Cause you's an ignorant bastard, destined to be a has-been. In some igloo teaching Alaskans how to backspin. Your mask is thin, then it's getting rocky like the Aspens. Spinning for your life, but still ending up in the trash bin. While I'm walking away laughing. Forest standing up goes, you're looking at the no negotiation. For everybody on the wall waiting, sleeping on this mic devastation. There's no negotiation. This is for people of other nations. Damn, they bomb the world trade like there's no negotiation. To everybody on the streets blazing, taking out the view of helicopters. There's no negotiation. This is for all of y'all that's mistaken. Hip hop is not on a vacation. 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 precise radar with satellite tracking, homing devices, cellular contraptions. You can run, but you won't get far, cause we're bound to find you wherever you are. Most stay in line with new age designs and then follow suit with the way it computes. In a bus, train, airplane, apartment, a car, believe that we'll find you wherever you are. Mapping out coordinates and smashing in subordinates. I burn them with the torch lit by the less fortunate. Stick, scorching it, state of mind's affording it. So I'ma eat no matter how big or small the portion is. You could try your hand at being motionless and be a sitting target, but that only means that in the human market you would be a bargain. A value plus discount. I perform a routine on the parallel bars of consciousness and stick the dismount. Gotta make this count before it's all over with. Conjure up a keepsake and hope you don't dispose of it by dispelling mythology and all of its supposedness. The inner mind's eye is what I focus with. See a door before it even manifests and open it. Entering a world without the handcuffs and scarred wrists, but y'all still want it regardless, cause it's brand new. OnStar, North Star, in and out of your car. State Farm's cheaper with onboard report cards. You can run, but you won't get far, cause we're bound to find you wherever you are. Most stay in line with new age designs and then follow suit with the way it computes. In a bus, train, airplane, apartment, a car, believe
All right.
we'll find you wherever you are. Wherever you are, wherever you are, wherever you are.
Yeah, wherever you are. Wherever the hell you are, you know? Yeah. Alright, give it up for Psych Origami. I don't know if I'm making it through this video, fam. Oh no. Where were we? Like here.
Incorrect billing. And just a quick note, employers who help pay off student loans can still offer tax-free contributions under this bill. That's an extension of a pandemic-era benefit, and it sticks around for now. If your workplace offers it, definitely take advantage. So what does all this mean in plain terms? Basically, we're seeing a shift from open access to tighter control. The bill aims to rein in college costs and limit government exposure to big loan balances. It does that by capping borrowing, tightening forgiveness, and scrutinizing how much value a degree actually provides. But it also raises real concerns about equity. If you limit loans without addressing tuition inflation directly, you risk pushing people out of graduate programs or into more expensive private debt. The changes to Pell Grants and short-term programs are a step toward modernizing education funding, but they don't entirely balance out the restrictions elsewhere. In the oversight piece, the school performance metrics and loan servicer accountability, those could end up being the most impactful in the long run. They shift some of the responsibility back to institutions and away from students, which might be overdue. Still, for borrowers, students, and families trying to plan ahead, the uncertainty is real. The rules are changing, and a lot of the old assumptions, like borrowing and paying off over time, don't apply the same anymore. This section comes from Title IX and Title X of the bill, and it focuses on immigration, border security, and how the federal government plans to enforce and fund both. This part of the legislation is pretty detailed, and honestly a bit loaded politically, but it outlines exactly where the administration wants to put its resources when it comes to immigration enforcement and processing. Right out of the gate, this section allocates new funding for the border wall. Yep, that same wall from the previous administration. The bill revives construction efforts, specifically stating that the Secretary
First of all, our thoughts and prayers go out to all those families still searching for information about their loved ones and lost ones. And in this case, this is my parents' house. They're in their 80s. 11 o'clock at night, they started having the water rise and come into their house, so they were able to escape up the hill. And they got word of their neighbor being stuck in her attic, so they went over and rendered aid and got her out. She's 92 years old. Then they were able to reach their tool shed up higher ground, and neighbors throughout the early morning began to show up at their tool shed, and they all rode it out together. We've been trying to render assistance to our neighbors here and begin to pull out things as we can and salvage what we can, just a general cleanup effort.
Okay, how about this? This is probably trash and maybe resale shop.
So our neighbor, who's 92 years old, my parents pulled her out of the attic. She's never seen anything like it. So this is the highest anybody that we know has ever witnessed the water in this valley.
Side of it. Don't want to get in.
Brother.
TFB.
Good Lord.
This is where little girls should be making memories on the 4th of July, not where police dogs search for their bodies in a flash flood no one saw coming. The Guadalupe River didn't rise, it ripped lives apart.
We've got chainsaws, all shapes and sizes, varieties, shovels, some recovery tools.
Volunteers joined hundreds of state, local, and federal crews combing miles of devastation.
I'll be honest, if I had a loved one missing, these are the kind of people I would want searching for them. Very well prepared, very well organized, and just willing to do whatever needs to be done.
The missing could be anywhere, in the treetops, in the brush, or buried beneath what the rivers left behind. A drone can show you the damage, but only down here can you hear what the water took.
How long did when this happen?
I was sleeping in there when it happened.
So how are you here?
That's a good question.
But it's hard to celebrate survival when death is still in the water.
What's even more tragic is I'm talking to Christian about how he was able to survive the flash flood. A body was found floating in the river.
The headlines can't keep up with the death toll, and neither can we. From July 4th to 5th, it kept going, from Hunt to Kerrville to Georgetown and Burnett.
It scared the hell out of me. And so, I can't believe this happened. And there was no warnings.
This was supposed to be a holiday weekend in the Texas Hill Country. Instead, we've watched families lose everything. And now the search for the missing is what matters. This is what's really happening out here.
This has got to be just the service you don't want to, but you feel you have to.
Absolutely, yeah. I think for anybody that can relate to this feeling, this is a terrible deal, so whatever we can do to help.
Over 850 people have been rescued, but 48 hours later, the hope of finding more alive is fading. This is Camp Mystic, a beloved girls' summer camp tucked into the Texas Hill Country. Early July 4th, as floodwaters surged through the Guadalupe, at least 24 campers were swept away, while counselors scrambled to save the rest. Search teams now stretch from just outside of Hunt to Kerrville on foot, on horseback, and by helicopter. Volunteers, law enforcement, and locals are scouring the valley mile by mile. In and around Hunt, the damage is some of the worst. Homes ripped from their foundations. But in the center of town, one old building stood firm, and it saved the life of its young owner.
And I woke up around 3 a.m. to the storm, to super loud thunder. And originally I thought someone broke into the house because I didn't even know it was supposed to be raining, let alone a flood coming. So I swing my feet over the bed, and my feet hit the floor. I'm like, that's water. I walked in here from that door right there, and there used to be a wooden deck right there through that door. And I looked to my left, and I saw that was just ripped up, and the water was just flooding in from there.
So at that point, how high was the water when you first got up?
It was about like a little bit higher than my ankle.
So I mean, at that point, I mean, that's scary, but it's not.
I was like still confused, like what's going on.
So then you open the door and a flood of water just rushes in.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to close it. I don't know why.
It's like it's like fucking Titanic.
Yeah, started walking back this way, and by that time there was furniture in the way right here that I was having to climb over.
And I'm looking here in your kitchen. I mean, the water definitely.
Yeah, it got up to the ceiling. This is where I was.
It's like Titanic.
I came back in here, and then that wooden box credenza thing was in this room. And I had the air mattress in here, so I threw all my stuff on the air mattress. And I was trying to get on the air mattress, but at this point it was like above my head. I had to think of how to get out of here. I tried opening the door wouldn't open. And I noticed the window was broken, so I swam through the window.
Not climbed, you swam.
Yeah, the water was high enough to where I was like standing like this against the window, and I could pick myself up. I picked up my feet, and I
Dude.
went through feet.
They need to make like they need to make like a movie about this guy.
First, climbed onto the meter box, and I was standing up here for like 3 hours, and the water was up to my knees at that point while I was standing up there.
Wait, hold on. How did he know it was 3 hours?
So you couldn't quite get up onto the roof?
No, I tried. I mean, you can see where I tried to pull on the gutter and the gutter bent. I couldn't get up there, so I was standing here until the water finally started going down, which was like 3 hours later.
As far as warnings, Christian said the first emergency alert came long after it was too late.
There wasn't any sort of warning about the flood until it was already happening. Like I was standing up there and I got a severe flood warning on my phone when I was holding on there. So I was like, no shit, really.
Across the region, I kept hearing the same thing. People waking up to water with no warning. This was Burnett, Texas, July 5th. Another rain bomb, another watershed overwhelmed overnight.
What seems to tie all of these floods together is that they happened at night, and everyone says they didn't know they were coming. There were no warnings. When Hamilton Creek left its banks, for instance, and rushed towards these homes, folks say there were no emergency responders banging on their doors. There were no alerts coming across their phones. They just heard water and then they stepped in it. And by that point, it was too late.
Look towards the door and I mean the water.
You know, floodwater is terrifying because, like, if you got down power lines or something like that, or, you know, you have no idea what's going on with that water. Like, is it electrified? Is there, like, you know, something really disgusting or, like, acidic or corrosive in it? Like, you have no idea what you're dealing with when it comes to floodwater. Like,
Water was way up there, already coming in just in an instant. I called my neighbor and I said, water, I said, I'm getting flooded, Mike. Are you getting water? He said, yes. He said, oh my God.
Cat jumped on my chest and she says, do you know there's water? I said, yeah, it's raining. So I was laying on the couch and I got out, and as soon as I put my feet down, I said, whoa. I mean, it was way up there. I mean, it was, and then it kept getting higher, and I heard some popping going on. I said, oh shoot, the electricity. So I just opened the window and busted the screen out and jumped out. So.
And how deep the water was, I guess,
Yeah,
waist deep?
Yeah, it's right here.
That has to be like terrifying.
Yes, and I had to go real slow because I mean it was slick, and then the currents. I mean they were just.
Fortunately, the woman who lived in this apartment was not home when this flash flood happened. You can imagine what might have happened if she was. There is one concern, though, that this flood, combined with every other flood, might be forgotten. But there are communities like this throughout Texas, and they need help. Everything that were inside these apartments, all the clothes, the furniture, electronics, are ruined. They're a loss. And in many cases, so are people's cars. The water was up to the dash.
Everything. I mean, all of this is mud. All of this is freaking mud.
Different towns,
Mud.
different rivers, same nightmare. The alerts came too late or not at all.
Well, I'm just worried that you guys might get lost in the shuffle.
Oh, I'm sure
You
that
know.
might happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I told him, don't worry about it.
That's a high possibility, yeah.
You stay with us.
It's going to come down to neighbors
You'll be
helping
fine.
neighbors.
Yes.
Friends helping friends.
Because I mean they're still waiting. I was sitting over there waiting on the Red Cross, and they still haven't showed up. So I mean it's.
Mike at least was able to save his cat, but nothing else. Since 1913, according to the National Weather Service, 20 tropical cyclones or their remnants have dumped at least 15 inches of rain across inland Texas. This weekend was no different. One of the catalysts, Tropical Storm Barry. Its remnants helped fuel this entire disaster.
How a catastrophe like this happens is actually pretty easy to explain. It's because, quite frankly, the Guadalupe River Valley is one of the deadliest river valleys in the entire country. And here's why. The Guadalupe River itself comes from underground springs. So the force of the water typically isn't too strong. That's why you see here closer to the head springs, right across from Camp Mystic and Hunt, Texas, it's very narrow, very shallow. Further downstream around Kerrville, it gets deeper because of years of erosion. But typically, this is what you see. But the entirety of the hill country here sits on a limestone bedrock. So this limestone is very hard, very porous, and it doesn't absorb water like a sponge. Instead, it just passes water through. That's why this entire area is so prone and susceptible to flash flooding. Then you add in the worst case scenario. You have about a foot of rain falling right over the two forks of the Guadalupe River, and that water rushes and rises so quickly.
So it's
that
like a double
people
dam.
Didn't have enough time to respond, and that's how campers were literally washed away out of their bunks.
Underneath
Over 50
and a little
people,
bit forward.
including children, are dead. Dozens more missing, and the search continues now 24/7 as a dog with officers just alerted that there might be something in this clump of trees right in front of Camp
Sweet,
Mystic.
let's
So
go.
now other officers are scrambling to
Oh,
cut
is this
through
just like
and
part of the
pick through
thing?
this mess of debris and tree limbs to see what may be in there.
No one.
Is this part 1? Okay.
There's very few concrete pads that even remain. The RVs were swept away, the concrete was swept away. I mean, the little ground is scoured away.
It looks like a hurricane tore through Texas Hill Country. But this storm had no name and no warning.
We realized that the water is rising really fast.
Car horns screamed as vehicles shorted out underwater.
We start banging on everybody's door, getting people out.
If you were lucky, someone banged on your door. If not, this is how you woke up.
Was this like a worst case scenario because it's the holiday?
Absolutely. They were full. They have 14 reservations missing. I have 6 people missing.
If you didn't get out on time and you were in an RV, this is unsurvivable. Look at this. This RV shredded, wrapped around
That's
the tree.
Wait, what?
There's another one there.
Where's the rest of
And then
it?
you can see another one down the river. This whole area was full of RVs, cabins. Everyone was here for the
They're
holiday
gone.
weekend.
They're just-
This is
no.
a really popular area to celebrate the 4th of July.
It's just like pieces of...
And it's gone.
Everybody
And
lost
it's gone.
everything. There were some people that were able to get out, but only in their underwear. With their dogs, nothing
Only
else.
in their
Nothing
underwear,
else.
dude.
No time.
No time.
The forecast called for up to 6 inches of rain. Up to twice that fell. People went to bed believing that they'd wake up to fireworks, not flash floods.
I was expecting rain, but not a flood.
I slept through it. It was the last night we didn't know anything. It was when we woke up this morning.
The thunder was crazy, and I couldn't sleep. So at 2:30, I started checking because it was just non-stop, and it was hard rain.
Along the Guadalupe River, at least 18 summer camps sat directly in the flood's path. At one camp alone, officials say around 20 girls were unaccounted for. Parents and guardians lined up at a nearby elementary school, waiting to hear if their child's name would be called.
Some very emotional moments happening behind me. In the school bus are children who were at their overnight camps. There's a lot of summer camps that are located right along the Guadalupe River, and so many of these parents had no idea if their children were okay or not. The river rapidly rising in the early morning hours, washing away cabins and sadly taking numerous lives along the river. These kids being brought from their camps here to the elementary school to be reunited with friends and family.
We saw that it had flooded up here and just kind of didn't know, and the not knowing is the worst part. So both her and my son are real strong swimmers, so I wasn't real worried about them as far as in the water. But you know, water moving that fast is insane.
Damn, I'm just choking. That's quick. I'm not playing the Masquerade in it, am I? Are all just New Year's gonna make me sick? Is that really what we're dealing with? Cool. Maybe we don't go over there. Never mind. Fuck that. Oh, that bitch is coming now. Oh fuck. Alright. We were good to stay here. This way. Fuck that. Uh-oh. You want to do something with that finger or what? Where? Oh. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. He's that way. Alright. We're in motion. Fucker. We're all escaping. Fuck it. Not one of us is dying. Hell no. Alright. Pulling that goofy ass shit now. Oh fuck. I don't know if she actually saw me. I don't think she did. Alright. There she saw me. Good shit. Oh shit, I don't know if this medkit gets me through. Ooh, yeah, it probably will now. We all getting out. Stop coughing like a little bitch. Oh, you got flashlighted. Oh. Got a fountain. Nah, fuck that. We ain't a fountain. We sick. We just keep going. That's bad. All these fountains are fucked. Going to the other one. And we're gonna do that gen afterwards. Hear my sickness. Drinketh from the fountain. It overfloweth. Actually, it's like leaking. Kind of. Oh yeah. Don't fucking bring that shit over here. Man, oh fuck, I'm so exposed on this gen. Fuck that. Yeah, you did. Okay, keep her. Nah, man. I don't like how you're circling my fucking wagon. Thank you. Ugh. I don't know where the other two Claudettes are. They're like, aren't they both Claudettes? No, there's a Leon here. I don't even think I've seen him yet. I thought there were two Claudettes. Why? 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 Dumb as shit. She ain't coming over here. They're probably over there distracting her right now. Could be anything. No, no, no. We ain't going back yet. I'm gonna cleanse this totem first. No. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, thank you. That should drive her off for like at least a little bit. Because they're all gonna run over there to try to do that other gen. You did fucking not see me. Go away, bitch. Why does she keep looping back here? What the fuck? Why are you on my ass so hard right now? The absolute fuck is that? Whoa. Who's up there puking on shit? Are we fucking gen trapped right now? Three on this? No. Alright, hell no. Fucking bitch. Coming in super tight. Oh lord. No, she's not even gonna search. She's trash. I'm gonna lure her away. Fuck this. How can we do it and still be safe? Vault this. Flat this. Corner. Shooting a moth to it. Nope. Maybe it's not in radius. Maybe we went too far away. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Only the Leon is doing a gen. Or over there. Fuck, see, he's opening a chest. Go back to the gens. Okay. Maybe not. Please don't. Please don't. This is actually going pretty fucking well. the evasiveness, it just barely missed me, dude. Shot it right over that rock. You You know? Is that the Leon or is that the Laura? Alright, fuck. She playing pussy. Fuck up your fountains. Get that detox purification demonstration. Right. All gens cleared over there. Is there one left in here? We did the one in here, didn't we? Yeah, we're gen trapped on these two fucks. It's two fucking gens. With a plague like this, fuck. She's gonna spit us back and forth using that. We're almost done with this one. Fuck. Oh, I'm sick again. Imagine that. Mm-hmm. Pick her up. Do it. This gen's almost done. That other guy's doing gen too. Who's he gonna go after first? Why am I hurt? Oh. Maybe I hurt myself touching the gen, I don't know. What's just happened? That's bad. Fucking throw up noise is so disgusting. He beat me to it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna get clean first. All right. Oh shit! What are you doing? Don't come for me, dude. Leave me alone. 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 Oh, you scared me. Holy shit. I don't know what we're doing. Our gate's open. Dun, 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 That was alright. Oh, what's going on? I thought blood points capped at 2 mil. I guess times are changing. I don't know. I want to change the monitors that I'm watching. These guys are giant people.
That's all you can think about.
In the town of Hunt, the water hit harder. It took
Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Okay.
high-profile military vehicles just to reach the survivors, pulling up like lifeboats on wheels, soaked, shaken, silent. The survivors climbed aboard, their lives reduced to whatever they could grab.
We get flash flood warnings on our phones all the time. It's like the Amber Alert, or you live in Texas, you don't really think much of it, and obviously we were wrong.
This chilling video captures the river rising in real time, each lightning strike illuminating just how fast the water was climbing. Inside London's home, floodwater surged up the staircase, step by step, second by second, until escape was nearly impossible.
We got to the top floor, and it just kept rising and kept rising. And we were getting ready to go on the roof. Like I said, we had tied bed sheets together to bring ourselves to the top. And right before we climbed out, we realized that we were fine. Well, we realized we were fine because the water had obviously started to stop and go down, and fortunately we were okay.
Terrifying. That's the only way you can describe the force and fury of water. That is the Guadalupe River behind me. I'm in Kerrville, Texas, Texas Hill Country. This section right here was a part of this apartment complex. It was lifted off its foundation, carried about 100 feet away into the parking lot. The only thing that stopped it, these old oak trees. I spoke with one girl who had just graduated from college. She had just left for work around 5 this morning, grumbling, of course, about working so early and on a holiday, but that might have saved her life.
Honestly, I've been running every day, and I would record like that little bridge, and every time I would get it in the clip, it was dry. Like there was barely any water, so I was never expecting it to hit this high up. At most, maybe like the railings, sure, but I didn't expect it to go from like dry to be this high up.
Within a day?
Within hours, because I was here right before 5, and by like 6, 5:30, this was basically the way it is right now.
Where do you work?
HEB.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, did you ever think work would save your life, or?
No, I
You probably
did not.
hated those early hours.
Yeah, I was like, I'm here so early, but I'm glad I did.
So agencies from all over are flying. I've seen the National Guard, local sheriffs, any helicopter basically available. I think they're flying up and down the Guadalupe River now.
State officials say the search won't stop. Not during the day, not when the sun goes down, not until every missing person is found.
Oh,
I think what's so astounding is just how high the debris mark is here. That's 20 feet at least.
The water was not like that. The water was raging.
My birds are gone.
In a matter of 10 minutes, it went from there, maybe 15 minutes, went from there all the way to my deck, right there, and another 5 minutes to get that way, but it was completely, I mean, I had 2 feet of water in my house.
About 4 months worth of rain fell in just 6 hours. The Guadalupe River rose to nearly 30 feet, possibly the highest ever recorded. We don't know for sure because the gauge broke.
You just see how the ground scoured from the force of the rapids of the water that ripped through here. There were numerous RVs, and they're all swept away. Sadly, one RV that was down there, that family was swept away. Amazingly, though, the owner of this campground, search and rescue teams were able to get door to door, and most people escaped.
Like the catastrophic flood of 1987, campers were caught off guard. It happened overnight with no real warning during a holiday weekend when families were sound asleep. The Guadalupe is the kind of river that invites you to relax. That's what makes it so dangerous. It lulls you in.
All right. Looks like Trouble in Game Pass Paradise. founder and former president of Microsoft-owned Arcane Studios, has criticized Game Pass and claimed that it's been increasingly damaging the industry. Why is no one talking about the elephant in the room? Game Pass. Colantonio wrote. Damn. It's fucked. I think Game Pass is an unsustainable model that has been increasingly damaging the industry for a decade, subsidized by Microsoft's infinite money, but at some point, reality has to hit. I don't think Game Pass can coexist with other models. They'll either kill everyone else or give up. There's a video here to go with this. I guess there were games that were canceled. Because Microsoft cut a bunch of studios, which ended up cutting a bunch of jobs, which ended up cutting a bunch of games. And so I don't know if they cut the entire studio, because there was supposed to be a Perfect Dark remake, and it looks pretty sick. But I guess that's gone now too. I wonder if this guy goes over every single thing. This looks like a podcast, doesn't look like a news source, but maybe it's...
VGC is supported by Patreon.
Full ass hour and a half podcast. Yeah, this ain't gonna work for me.
I love you. No, but the actual map.
No thanks. Okay.
Xbox and Microsoft just announced a devastating layoff, a reduction in employees, and an unprecedented game cancellation and studio closures. These are trying times in the tech and games industry, and Xbox is struggling to find their way into the future of competition. And the question is, are gaming fans going to pay the price for Xbox's big investments? Microsoft announced today that over 9,000 employees are being cut, with an official statement from Microsoft Gaming, Phil Spencer, saying, quote, "To position gaming for enduring success and allow us to focus on strategic growth areas, we will end and decrease work in certain areas of the business and follow Microsoft's lead in removing layers of management to increase agility and effectiveness," close quote. This was immediately followed up by the president of Xbox Studios, Matt.
Bruh. Huh. What? Bro's last name is Booty? What? That can't be real. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Anyway. Alright, besides the point that the president of game content and studios, his last name is fucking Booty. Alright. Get the booty
Booty
for us,
announcing
Matt.
that the Initiative Studio and its game Perfect Dark are being canceled, With the studio closing down,
dude, why doesn't Microsoft and Xbox stop making games and sell off these studios? Okay. And then just make hardware and Game Pass subscription service. You know? What are we doing? Yeah.
and Everwild from Rare being canceled as well. Matt Booty's statement said, "Following Phil's note, I want to share more about the changes to the studio business units. We have made the decision to stop development of Perfect Dark and Everwild, as well as wind down several unannounced projects across our portfolio. As part of this, we are closing one of our studios, The Initiative. These decisions, along with other changes across our teams, reflect a broader effort to adjust priorities and focus resources to set up our teams for greater success within a changing industry landscape. We do not make these choices lightly, as each project and team represents years of effort, imagination, and commitment. Our overall portfolio strategy is unchanged. Build games that excite our players, continue to grow our biggest franchises, and create new stories, worlds, and characters. We have over 40 projects in active development, continue momentum on titles shipping this fall, and a strong slate headed into 2026. To everyone across our studios, thank you. Your creativity and resilience continue to define who we are. I believe in the strength of our teams and the direction we're taking on the path ahead." Xbox is closing the Initiative Studio, which was established in 2018.
It's so weird how, like, it is just the, I don't mean to sound like a dick. It is just the game industry, but it is on the public stage that, like, you're sitting here being like, we're just closing a couple studios, and it is like 9,000 jobs that, like people thought that they were going to be, like, working and getting paid, like, and now they're just not working on that shit now. Like, they're just, they don't have a place to work. So, nice, cool, that's great. Look, why didn't you just sell the fucking studio? I don't know. Seems lazy as fuck.
18 in Santa Monica, California, bringing in Daryl Gallagher, the creative behind the Tomb Raider reboot in 2013, to revitalize the Perfect Dark franchise.
No, but truly, like, if somebody can answer that for me, that is a question I have. I don't know if, like, I was talking out of my ass, but it just seems like something obvious you would do is just, like, sell out the studio if you don't want the shit. But then I suppose you have to sell the IP, and then that comes with giving up the chance to have something happen with it in the future. I don't know.
Franchise. But ever since the collaboration of creatives behind Naughty Dog, Rockstar, and Sony Santa Monica all working for the Initiative, there were major clashes within that made the development of Perfect Dark chaotic and delayed. Just in the summer of 2024, we got over 3 minutes of gameplay footage and a vertical slice of Perfect Dark, showcasing the game to be a Dying Light meets Splinter Cell combination that had fans excited, with great potential for the new Perfect Dark game. It's now being reported that the Perfect Dark footage we saw at the showcase was basically faked, a vertical slice that was pre-rendered. The team Crystal Dynamics working on Perfect Dark was also struggling to get the upcoming Tomb Raider game finished as well. Perfect Dark was internally delayed in 2025, and now Xbox has decided to completely cancel Perfect Dark and shut down the Initiative Studio. Everwild has been a problematic game for Rare for well over 6 years, with a reported retooling of the game and its combat sometime in 2023. Fans expect to see Everwild at the showcase this year, and with this omission, we get the announcement that it not only has Rare decided to cancel Everwild, they completely have let go their Sea of Thieves director Greg Mayles, who has a 35-year record working on Banjo-Kazooie and Sea of Thieves. Turn 10 has been under fire since they released the 2023 Forza Motorsport, the sim racer that did not sell very well for Xbox and was very underwhelming compared to the previous titles in the
Ad for
franchise,
fucking
which
the
has
game they're
degraded over
talking
the
about.
years. And a
Yeah, I'll
big
just
delay
hand
for its
$70
eventual
bucks
release,
over to fucking
has
Microsoft
decided to cut
for
down
this.
Turn
What
Studios
the
in
fuck?
half, laying off the employees and relegating the rest to possibly work on the upcoming Forza
It
Horizon
looks
6,
crisp as fuck,
and the
but I don't know,
remainder
man.
helping launch Fable in 2026. This means that the Forza Motorsport franchise will likely be completely shelved and be replaced by the more profitable and more popular Forza Horizon series. Xbox is also cutting employees across many of their studios, which appears to be a measured reduction in force, which is partially in response to the $80 billion Activision Blizzard merger, which offset the revenue and profit position for the Xbox gaming division. The problem with this is Xbox told the FTC and CMA regulators in 2023 that they would not increase the price and lay off employees while also holding a great market position with so many franchises and studios under their belt. And now Xbox has done all of these things they said they wouldn't do. They've hiked the price of the games, hiked the price of the consoles far and above their competition, and now they have laid off thousands of employees since the merger started in 2022. One of those that is being cut from Activision is Raven Studios that creates Call of Duty Warzone, and this trims down the studio suite that works on the annualized Call of Duty games. ZeniMax Online, the team that brought us Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76, was reportedly working on a brand new sci-fi MMORPG, a brand new IP that has now been canceled. This game was supposed to get its reveal in 2025, and discussions behind the scenes reveal that Xbox titles are being canceled because they have not been coming together well and have pushed the leadership to cut their losses, which has been a common thing with games as a service titles that have failed to get off the ground. Xbox announcing that several unannounced titles are being wound down leads most to believe that 5 or 7 games outside of the 40 projects Xbox says they're working on have trimmed down the Xbox roadmap considerably. This has led the president of ZeniMax Studios, Matt Fior, with 18 years leading the team, to step away from him, saying that Elder Scrolls Online will be in great hands under the new studio direction, new studio head, executive producer, and directors. This means that ZeniMax will be concentrating their continued support on Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76, but no new IP will be worked on from ZeniMax. A source close to Variety reported that all of the games featured at the current Xbox Game Showcase in 2025 are safe and continuing development. But this leaves out prominent titles like Fable and Gears E-Day that were not shown at the Xbox Showcase and are set to come out in 2026. This also lines up with Xbox's announcement that unannounced projects would be winding down. Since Gears E-Day, Fable, and State of Decay 3 are already announced, it's likely those games will continue in their development. At Xbox, in the wake of layoffs, studio closures,
Can we cancel Black Ops 7?
And cancel games, is the future roadmap of Xbox hardware and consoles.
The fuck is that?
Recently, former Xbox leadership has been criticizing Xbox for their chaotic and unpredictable business maneuvers, with the layoffs cementing their concerns. Former Xbox founder Laura Fryer stated that Xbox has little confidence in upcoming hardware and that their hardware division is dying. She doesn't see them moving forward with consoles in the future, but Xbox literally just announced a couple of weeks ago that it had a partnership with AMD, and Lisa Su from AMD confirming they are working on next-generation consoles. Xbox is making major cuts, but they have just bolstered up first-party hardware with a new major production facility, and it is very likely, according to this recent confirmation, that Xbox is absolutely moving forward with a first-party Xbox-branded traditional console. But they are also working with AMD and other companies to make other Xbox-branded devices to go in concert with their regular traditional console.
What the fuck is that? Looks like a fucking... Looks like a fucking air diffuser. You're telling me that's a goddamn video game console? That's ridiculous. Get the fuck out of here. It's like a cheap ass knockoff JBL speaker. That was a shitty Google Home device. Fuck out of here.
All of this is very fluid and a move into the next part of Xbox's future as they go toward the 25th anniversary, but as it stands, the next Xbox console is on its way and should be revealed next year. One last reveal from all of the gaming news from the Xbox and Microsoft layoffs is that Phil Spencer is retiring as soon as they launch the next generation console. Phil Spencer has been under fire for his performance on the Xbox generation and the acquisition merger and major layoffs over the past 2 or 3 years. It's being reported thanks to Windows Central Jez Corden that Microsoft CTO Frank Shaw just shot down the report that Phil Spencer is retiring and that it was completely made up. There's definitely no definitive plan for when Phil Spencer, being 57 years old, will retire. Despite ongoing rumors and speculation, Phil Spencer will inevitably step down from his position at some point, but now that it's been confirmed by Microsoft that Phil Spencer is not retiring. Fans, rightfully so, should be very frustrated with thousands of employees and the Xbox game division seeing major cuts across the board, which puts into question the viability and strength of the Xbox first-party roadmap at a time when they should be bolstering up more employees for 40-plus gaming projects and a brand new next-generation console platform launching. The reality of the current tech industry laying off people across all gaming divisions and platforms.
Bro, that thing looked dumb as fuck. I don't know what to say. I don't like that thing. I don't want cylindrical game consoles. It looks stupid, okay? You don't fit anywhere. Alright, where are you supposed to put it? What, you know, put it in your corner of your house? What the fuck are you... It's not a goddamn Wi-Fi modem, dude. Even that, I don't want my Wi-Fi modem cylindrical either. Why is it shaped like a goddamn pop can or a toilet? I don't... What? Whatever. Where am I supposed to put it? Wow. Jeff Schwinger. I haven't played Death Slinger in a long ass time. Rats. Nice. Go save that guy. Heals, 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 heals. Cool. Good fucking lord. I don't know if this is the one I was working on. I don't think it is. This is bad. This is a bad spot. This is not a good area. But okay. Okay. Why is that happening? Why is he not off the hook? What? What? You dipshits. Oh my god. Oh my god. Run. Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Oh my god. What the hell are you doing? Oh. No, that is no. No, 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 no. Here. No, this dead guy. Yummy. Ah. Fine, we'll heal Nicolas Cage first. Yummy. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah! Fuck you. You're not. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Why? Why does this happen here? This is a really shitty spot. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna keep doing it. Alright, no. You just need to... I swear to God if he shows up. I kind of want him to spend his time killing that guy, you know? The farther away he takes it, the better, honestly. He'll finish at least one fucking gen. He's coming right down here. He's coming right down here. It's barbecue chilies, bitch. I'm hiding. He's gonna get you. You didn't see me, though. Yeah. I'm that fucking guy. We're going this way. Stand way away from all that bullshit. We're gonna go to the original Saw room and do that generator and pretend like nothing's going on out there. The hell with that. Look at, oh god, he's dead. Oh my god. Did they redo this? I think they redid this shit. Looks nice. Okay. Play with my fucking emotions like this. Where did he go down? Upstairs? Yeah. Man, I'm so worried about it. Just drops through there like a ton of bricks. Very possible. Slugging. But if you could come down, fall down through here, to be honest with you, like, things would be a lot less of a pain in the ass. the fuck they're doing. Yeah. Well, honestly, I learned some interesting things today. We'll follow up with more on another stream, possibly tomorrow. But I'm starting to get tired. I want to watch a movie before I go to sleep, though. Stay strange as fuck. Stay solid. And if you came through here for this, or you're watching it on a VOD, or doing anything, you gotta make sure you catch the fucking streams. What are you doing? For fuck's sake, look at the stream! Okay? Alright. Anyway, love you. Solid Sullivan. Peace.